Hi guys, welcome back to Revolution. In today's video I'm recording the Honda Hornet. This is a really fun bike. I've already taken it for a little test ride and I'll drip feed those videos into this whole section when you start looking in a minute. So the Honda Hornet, it comes with a liquid cooled overhead cam, 4-stroke 8-valve parallel twin with a 270-degree crank and a unicam. The power output on this bike is 67.6 kilowatts, that equates to 90 brake horsepower. 9,500 RPM with a max torque of 74.4 Newton meters at 7,000 RPM. The Hornet has a 755cc engine. Come around to the front of the bike, you got the front brake. You're looking at a dual 296mm by 4mm disc with a Nissan radial mount 4-pot piston caliper, and at the rear you're looking at a single 240 by 5mm disc with a single piston caliper. Alright, so here's the actual test ride of the Honda Hornet. I've only been on it a few minutes, taking it from Crescent Honda straight up to Southampton. Now, when I looked at this bike originally, I thought it is definitely a contender for the Honda CB750 which is a fantastic city bike, awesome for commuting and riding around those busy city environments. So the first thing I'm going to be doing with the Honda Hornet is taking it to a busy city. Now, Southampton is renowned for gridlock traffic pretty much any time of the day and week, so hopefully that is what we get straight away. Now, the first thing I've noticed when I'm on this bike is how low it is. It is a very low motorcycle, 5'8", relatively shortish legs and well, shortish inseam, and I can flat foot this bike no problem whatsoever. It really doesn't give me any issues, so therefore it's very confident, inspiring. You can just get your feet down as soon as you need to. Any issues with having to come to a quick stop is not going to be a problem. Now, the wind mirrors, the visibility on them is fantastic. Normally with a lot of motorcycles you've got to lift your pull your elbows inwards. With these, not at all. Nice and easy, and they're easy to adjust as well because everything is just literally right here. You haven't got to be leaning forward and leaning up or down, do you know what I mean, stretching up or down. It's just nice and easy to get hold of those wind mirrors if you need to change them. This bike does have a quick shifter up and a blipper down, just like that, and it is relatively smooth. The clutch is extremely light, not that you really need to use it with a blipper. When it comes to actually looking at the dials on the dash, you can change this to a white background or the black background. I'm just going to keep it on the black one for the moment. It's nice and easy, I'm not worried too much about that. But being a TFT display, Honda are really stepping their game up with their TFTs. They're really crisp and informative. Not too much information, but enough that you know what is going on with the bike. I'm not going to go into too much detail with that, but as you can see there, it's got a nice digital rev counter. Sounds alright for a standard bike. Being a naked bike, obviously travelling a little bit quick, you do get a fair bit of wind resistance, so it's not the most comfortable of rides. But then again, I'm not a naked fan, so I mean, if you're a naked bike fan, that might not be an issue whatsoever for you. For me, I really don't enjoy naked rides, so yeah, so for me, any naked bike where I'm getting wind resistance is just a bit of a downer. But for a city bike where you're commuting in and out of cities, I think so far I would choose this over the CB650R. The suspension straight away is a million times better than the CB650R, which is always a good thing because that thing gave me a really bad headache. It's light, it's nimble. I think it's about 190 kilograms, like the curb weight on this bike, which is really light. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what the statistic was. On the left hand side you've got nice easy to operate indicators. On the right hand side you've got your ignition start and your kill switch. It's a keyed bike. I'm not a fan of these keyless ignitions, even though my GTR's got one. I would much rather prefer a good old key. And where it is a really light, nimble bike, it tips and leans in little bit too easy, which I did find with, what bike was it? It was actually the CB1000 RR or whatever that bike is. That was really flickable to say. But yeah, for a sissy bike, really, why would you pull out? You could, why? That's just stupidity. It forced me to a stop. Anyway, back to the test ride. The brakes are good. The brakes are pretty good on this, I'll give it that. Let's have a look at a little bit of filtering. Well, this is quite a big gap here, so filter through to the start. Now all the gearing and all the dials and everything on the near side handlebar, they're all pretty straightforward to get to. I mean, not even looking, I can feel this one is your selector button. You got your mode up here. You've got down here, you got your indicators, you got your horn. Yeah, it's, do you know what I mean? It's all also a function button at the top. It's all very easy to use. So Honda have done really well on that one. You get relatively good visibility on the bike. I mean, well, there you go. I'm completely flat-footed on this. No dramas whatsoever. Hold it on the back brake. Very comfortable indeed. The front suspension, you're looking at a Showa 41mm SFF BP USD 130mm travel. Ain't got a clue what that means, but that's what it is for those of you that are technically minded. And at the rear, you've got a monoshock damper with a Pro Link swing arm with 150mm of travel. The front tyre is a 120 by 70 17-inch, and at the rear you're looking at a 160 17-inch rim, and the wheels are SY spoke cast aluminiums, which actually do look quite nice in this like kind of graphite matte black colour, which I do think looks really cool. Now when it comes to the actual bodywork on this bike, the frame is made out of steel diamond. You're looking at the fueling for the bike is a 15.2 litre tank, and at today's prices, we're filming this where petrol comes in at £1. And to fuel the bike, you're looking at, now when it comes to fueling the bike, you're looking at 15.2 litre tank, which in today's fuel prices, as filming this bike now, you're looking at £1.50. You're looking at £1.45.9 pence per litre, which will come in about £22 to fill up this bike, which isn't too bad. Fuel economy, you're looking at 23 kilometers per litre, or in easy terms, 64.97 miles per gallon, which as a commuting bike is absolutely fantastic return. Curb weight 190 kilograms, seat height is 795 millimeters, and for me, 5'8", standing up here, you can see it is a nice low bike. I'll tell you what, I'll get on it and you can see I'm completely flat-footed on both pedals, on both sides. So yeah, this bike is spot on for shorter people, taller people. I don't think you're going to get on with it because it is quite a low bike. It is definitely geared up for those nice easy commutes and then blasting out into the countryside at the weekends to enjoy your bike. Okay, so Southampton city centre is actually not that busy today, and I've got something in my eye which is really annoying. So yeah, Southampton city centre is not actually that busy today, which is quite disappointing because I really wanted to try some filtering. I mean, I could have gone in Shirley High Street, however. So the one day I come into Southampton city centre for a little bit of heavy traffic, there actually isn't any. This is brilliant. But all in all, I think the I think the Honda Hornet is actually quite a good city bike. It'd be easy to move about, like literally if you're struggling to find parking spaces, where it is so light to manoeuvre, you can literally just pretty much pick it up and move it. It's so good. Also, the seating position is nice and comfortable. Yep, your legs are bent back like a sports style bike, like a sporty naked bike, but that's never an issue. Let's face it, you're on a motorbike, so you're not going to be on a cruiser with your legs out full. So it's always one of the things you've got to bear in mind. The seat is very comfortable. It's firm, but not uncomfortable, so I could be on this for quite some time without having any issues at all. And it does feel like it's got a nice bit of punch that It just wants to start having some fun, start tearing it up. I think for like a track bike, this would be unbelievable. It would really have the grunt to be able to throw it around on the track quite comfortably and have a good laugh. Obviously you've got a couple of different riding modes. You've got sport, standard mode, rain mode, your user, which is your preset one. I'm just going to leave it in sport mode. Blipper down. Yeah, the blipper is quite nice on this, so I'm quite happy with that. It pulls really nice. I think this is running about 75 Newton meters of torque, which again, for a bike you're going to be using around the town and then taking out at the weekends or your days off to have a good old ride to your local biker cafe or anything like that, is a decent amount of power. Now, so far, from what I felt initially, the Honda Hornet has got the perfect balance of power and torque. I think if Honda had, now a lot of people complained about me saying this, if Honda put the power up on the CB750X, that bike would have been unbelievable. Now, I initially said it needed over